Yo, she-bitch. Let's go.
What's up, YouTube? This week we're gonna leave politics and world news out of the picture. Wasn't anything really going on there anyway. I know I said I started doing reaction videos, and we'll get to that next video. There's just too much to discuss this round. I first want to talk to you about the whole Comic-Con, everything that came out at Comic-Con this year. There's a lot of surprising stuff that came out that just, oh no, was a little bit ridiculous. First thing I'm going to talk about is the new Star Trek show. I saw the trailer for the new Picard. It looks interesting, but at the same time they show this scene where this girl, she's basically comes to Picard and asks him for help, but they turn around and make her like she's some badass kick-ass fighter or some crap, which kind of got me worried, because now it's like it's a story that's been done before already, and I'm afraid that they're doing the whole SJW feminist route with this, and that really scares me, because then you're screwing with Star Trek even worse by bringing in generation characters, because you know you got 7 and 9 on there, and you got Jonathan Frakes and you know, Riker and Counselor Troy. They said they're going to be on there. And then, of course, at the end of the trailer, you see Data, Brent Spinner. So, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to check it out. But at the same time, I'm afraid they're doing the whole PC feminist crap. And it just, if they do that, it's just, it's going to bomb. Nobody's going to like it. What I really would have liked to see, and leave your comments down below if you agree with me, instead of this elf-looking dude with the sword trying to help him, why didn't they have like Worf show up and then tell Picard that even though he can't right at there, you know, he's got other things going on within the Klingon Empire, help him out. He brings Alexander in to protect Picard, and Alexander kind of takes up the role that his father did on the Enterprise. I think that would have been much cooler. Anyways, I'm gonna give Picard a shot. We'll see how it goes, but I'm afraid they're gonna go the feminist SJW route. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the whole Marvel MCU lineup, Phase 4 lineup, looks retarded. It really does. Like most of these, nobody really even cares about or knows about. The Eternals, no one really knows anything about the Eternals. Now you could say, well, no one really knew about Guardians of the Galaxy either. Yes, but with the Eternals, they're literally going through and taking out all the male characters and replacing them with females. Now, let's be real. Let's keep this fucking real, please. Everybody knows Marvel is literally trying to get rid of all the male characters and replacing them with females. instead of doing female characters that are already established characters in the Marvel universe. They decide they're going to replace all the male characters with females. For example, Thor belongs to a male god. But they're going to have Natalie Portman play Thor. Seriously? What a joke. Give me a break. That's so retarded. I don't mind the Black Widow thing. I'm not like excited to see a Black Widow movie, but yeah, okay, whatever. At least she's an established character. They, instead of making their own female superheroes, they gotta fucking replace all the male heroes, which are established characters, are iconic. Stop doing that shit. They don't fucking learn. That's why their shit just keeps going downhill. And I agree. The only one that really had me kind of going, hey man, that sounds like it's gonna be great, is the Blade movie. They announced they're gonna do another Blade. Now, I'm not so excited about them going and rebooting the thing, because when they say they're going to reboot something, 9 times out of 10, they're going to throw some alphabet character in there, or fucking, do some SJW feminist crap and destroy the PC crap. They're going to destroy it. We've already had Blade. Why don't they continue on with that instead of doing it and rebooting the thing? It's fucking retarded. But I am glad to see that Blade's coming back. Just hope they don't screw it up like they do everything else. The What If TV show or movie or whatever they're doing with What If. Okay, I remember the What If comics. That doesn't sound too bad. I was told that Hawkeye television show that they're coming out with, they're basically he's gonna train a woman to take his place as Hawkeye. Again, replacing the male character with a female. It's retarded. I am kind of looking forward to, I like Doctor Strange a lot. I've always wanted them to do a Doctor Strange movie, so I am kind of curious how that one's going to go. The Multiverse of Madness. It sounds kind of cool. I'm not real hyped about Wanda and Vision. Scarlet Witch and Vision. Okay. I don't know. Most of these just fall flat. And it's just not me. I've seen tons of videos of people talk about Phase 4. Most people don't care about any of these characters that they're fixed to come out with. No one could care less about most of this. So, I don't know what they're going downhill bad. Now, I did watch where the main directors of Marvel and the main directors of DC, the two head honchos that are running Marvel and DC, they were bitching on the Comic-Con panel. They were bitching because they said, what is the deal? We don't understand why our sales are plummeting for the books, except for the editions that they reprint, the older style comics from like 90s back, that they reprint and an exact copy. People are buying them like crazy, the old stories, and they're all like, we need to move forward, but if everyone keeps thinking of the past, how are we supposed to? Well, here's the thing. I can tell you the reason why. Because you're not telling the proper stories. You keep changing everything. You don't put out something new, you change it all. And that's the problem. Instead of continuing And moving forward with the story, you go back and you reboot and you change it all. And that's why the Marvel, MCU and DC, you're going downhill because you're not telling the original stories. You're changing it all. And everybody wants the original stories told and then move forward from there. Not a retelling and changing it all story. And that's the problem. DC television is getting just as bad as the Marvel universe with trying to replace all the male characters with female characters. They literally flat out said that, or showed a picture of Supergirl. They changed the skirt and put her in pants. They say the skirt's too feminine. What the fuck? That's what makes Supergirl. She wears a skirt, dumbasses. Same thing with the whole Batgirl thing. Oh my gosh, that trailer made me cringe so bad. There were so many SJW feminist quotes in that trailer. It was horrible, absolutely horrible, disgusting. That's gonna bomb so bad. They need to get their shit together, Marvel and DC, big time, because they're fixing to crash and burn. That's all I got to say on that. Nothing major for MCU and Phase 4. Nothing really I care to really much see except for maybe Blade and Doctor Strange. I did happen to see the new Men in Black, and a lot of you are probably going, why does it take you a while before you do a review on a newer movie or something? Well, the thing is with a lot of your newer movies, I usually don't go to theater and watch it. I usually don't give them my money because half of them are so full of PC and SJW feminist crap in them. I don't do it. I usually wait until it comes out online and I can watch it for free. No point in paying for it. But anyway, I watched the new Man in Black here just a few days ago. I'm telling you right now, it wasn't a horrible story. It was just, I don't know, it was luster lacking. They literally went the whole SJW feminist route, trying to make the female like she's the badass and she's so cool and now she's a Man in Black and blah. It was dumb. It was really retarded. And the little Pawnee guy, he was the alien that was with her. Oh, you're my queen, you know. He was the little white knight. He was acting the white knight part. Chris Hemsworth, I don't know what. I understand why he keeps taking these roles. Because, you know, he's getting paid, you know, buku money for doing it. However, I don't see how he can deal with all these feminists fucking constantly bashing him all the time in these movies, making him look like he's a dumb jock and he's just stupider than a box of rocks. I don't know. I understand that he wants the money, but at the same time, I just wouldn't my reputation burnt down like that by fucking retarded women, you know. I'm sorry, retarded feminists. Let me put it that way. But anyways, yeah, it wasn't all that great of a movie. It was okay. The Pawnee guy, he was funny, but at the same time, awfully annoying because he was doing the whole white knight thing. So it kind of got annoying after a while. So I wouldn't really recommend it all that much. You're not missing much, trust me. That's literally all I got to say about all that. DC, Marvel, you need to fix your shit because you're fixing to go down hard. Alright, movie holics, let's get on to your B movie or cult classic reviews. We went fantasy this week. I decided to check out 3 80s fantasy flicks. The first one is called The Warrior and The Sorceress, which was done in 1984, and it didn't do all that well. It only made about $2 million domestically. It starred David Carradine. He's a pretty familiar name. Most people know who he is. He's a well-known actor. He's not an A-grade actor, but he's almost there. You either love David Carradine's way of or style of acting, or you don't. He has a way of, when he talks, he pauses for a moment and then goes on. It's just the way he does that all the time. His acting, it's kind of cool, but it's not always the greatest. He does a lot of B-rated movies, but he's been in a lot of A-grade stuff too. So, this is a classic story of like that's been done many times, where you have like 2 gangs in a town or 2 families, that scenario, and they're fighting over something. David Carradine plays this mercenary who comes into this village, and you got 2 gangs that are fighting over the town well or the village well. And he pits them against each other, and he keeps taking their money by doing favors for each one. He's using them both. There's a princess that's been of the village that's been imprisoned. There's a group of slavers that sell slaves. They show up and they try to take the well as well. The princess makes this holy sword for David, and then he basically kills everybody and leaves the villagers and the princess over the well, and then leaves town or the village or whatever. And that's the end of the story. It's a really good movie. I was really surprised. I thought it'd be a little bit more cheesier. A couple of the fight scenes were a little bit cheesy, but for the most part, it was a decent movie. It wasn't bad. So I definitely give it a thumbs up. Check it out. It's pretty good. Moving on to the next one, which was Wizards of the Lost Kingdom. It was done in 1985. There is no record of what it made at the box office. This starred Bo Simonson. I've seen him before. I can tell you what. He plays some type of warrior, known warrior throughout the kingdom or whatever. And then the other star is Tom Christopher. He plays the evil wizard. You probably, if you ever watched the old Buck Rogers series, he plays Hawk on there. Where do I begin with this movie? Basically, there's this wizard kid. The king, the good king and the good wizard, they've both been killed. The evil wizard takes over with the queen. He seduces the queen, and then the wizard kid, he leaves, escapes, and he takes with him this guy that looks like an abominable snowman. He's in this white furry suit, and he mumbles a lot, and that's supposed to be his language. It makes no sense. I feel sorry for the actor who had to wear that heavy thing. It must have been hotter than balls in that thing. But you know, when you see him, you're like, what the? Seriously, it was. I don't know what he was. But anyway, he's like his pet guardian or something. He follows the kid around everywhere. But basically, he meets the warrior, Bo, whatever, and they get in a couple incidents or whatever to try and get back to the castle and get its kingdom back. There's one scene in there that really freaked me out. There's, I don't know what she is. She's supposed to be some kind of a witch woman or something. So she tries to seduce this 12-year-old boy. We're getting a little pedophile-ish here. She tries to seduce the 12-year-old boy. And when he shows up to the camp, it's full of women, except for one guy. He's supposed to be playing this pan flute, and you could tell he's not even playing the damn thing. And then when they find out what she is, she changes into this giant spider, rubbery, furry spider. It's just retarded looking. And instead of the warrior coming in there to kill her, he hands the wizard boy a little tiny sword and tells her to poke the giant spider, which he does. It's dumb. Same thing at the castle where the evil wizard and the queen are at. There's a little princess that likes the wizard boy, and she's trapped there. And she can't be no more than 12 or 13. And the evil wizard, which is like 30 years old, is trying to seduce her. So at both rounds, there's some pedophile-ish crap going on. But the movie was just, you have a lot of dwarves running around, and some dwarf in a monkey suit, or it looks like a monkey suit, running around too. It was so dumb. And the acting was just horrible. I mean, god awful. Yeah, this is definitely. They also took a lot of the scenes. They took footage from the Deathstalker movies and the Sorceress movie, and they threw it in there as part of this movie. And I was just like, what the? That's from this movie, and that's from that movie. It's just, it was dumb. It was dumb. There is a second one to this. I didn't even bother because I know it's going to be even worse. I highly recommend that you stay away from this one. This one's horrible. The last one we're going to talk about is a movie called Gore. It was done in 1987. Couldn't find, what it might have made at the box office. There was no information. This starred Urbano Barbini and Oliver Reed as the bad guy. You might know him from the Gladiator movie. He played the old gladiator who won his freedom or whatever, who owned the gladiator house that the Spaniard was in. Anyways, Jack Palance is in this at the very end. There is a sequel with him in it as the bad guy. However, we're talking about the first Gore. The first Gore wasn't all that bad. Yeah, it was cheesy in a lot of ways, but it wasn't too bad. It was all right for what it was. It was cheesy. It was definitely cheesy though. Basically, this college professor, he's been studying these ancient rocks, and one of them goes on, is like a ring, and it goes on his finger. Something happens, and the ring actifies the stone, and he's transported to the world of Gore. Because there's these huge stones, just like the stone in it, the little tiny stone in his ring, that all these towns have. This one particular big stone that flashes, it's the one for a particular town. It's the one that calls on the professor to come to Gore. He basically helps these people from becoming slaves to the king priest, which is Oliver Reed. He plays the bad guy. He's been going around collecting all the village's stones and wreaking havoc and killing people and taking over the countryside or whatever. Well, Urbano, he shows up as Tolbert. That's his character's name. Tolbert, Professor Tolbert, learns how to fight and all kinds of stuff, and then he goes and he fights the king priest, and so they can get back this stone, and this old village elder who's like the king of the village or whatever. They go to get him too. And on his journey, he runs into a couple of problems, and he's got to fight his way through, and he's in love with the princess or whatever, falls in love with the princess of the village, and anyways, they save the day, they kill the king priest, and then they go back to the village, put the rock on the village where it's supposed to belong. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. However, you do get a scene at the very end where it shows him run across Jack Palance as a new priest that shows up the village to take care of the stone. But anyways, he leaves, he goes back to his own world. Now, Gore wasn't all that bad. It was kind of cheesy. The acting wasn't horrible, or it wasn't all that great, but it wasn't horrible either. I could stomach it. It wasn't that bad. However, the second one was just absolutely terrible. I definitely don't recommend you watch the second one at all. The first one, if you like cheesy, you're okay. Go ahead and watch it. It wasn't that bad. But I would not recommend watching the second one. It was terrible. Bad. Anyways, that's your classic reviews. If you have any suggestions of some gems that I might have missed, leave a comment in the section down below and tell me about it, and I'll get to reviewing it as soon as I can. Until then, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you've just been told.